Hey everyone, it's me, it's Gray, and welcome to episode 9 of my art journey. I'm gonna make this one actually quick, unlike the last episode. Forgive me if you hear any odd audio issues, I'm still working on that. I got a mic, but the sound quality, it's better than the older videos, but there's still noise in the background that I try my best to filter out, but, I'm not some professional, audio mixer or anything like that, so I'm still working on it. It's gonna get better in the future, I promise. But anyway, this is episode 9, where we last left off. I gave it a shot at drawing heads from different angles. I will say that I have improved a bit. Of course, it's not to my liking, and I'm sure a lot of you watching will probably think, you could have done this better, or you shouldn't have done this, or you should have taken a different approach. Whatever it may be. So for this video, I'm still gonna be working on the faces, or not faces, but heads, but mostly off camera. Right now, I want to try my hand at drawing eyes. Now, before I hit record on this video, I took a quick little look on YouTube to see what, out of curiosity, what the artist online would say about how to draw eyes, what approach to take to drawing eyes. And I gotta say, I wasn't liking most of what I was seeing, because it seemed as though people were teaching you not how to draw eyes, but how to draw anime eyes. Like I would say at least 70% of the art tutorials that I've seen online have been they teach how to draw anime eyes. Big sparkly eyes, with the crazy eyelashes or the overly detailed irises or whatnot. Like, they teach that, and that's not what I'm looking for. Like, anime eyes are essentially the regular eye, but like exaggerated and simplified at the same time. At least that's how I see it. Like, they take a normal eye and they exaggerate it, or they simplify it in a way that could make it appealing, or make a character look very, very cute, or very, very just appealing overall. That's not what I wanted to do, because I don't want to stick into the habit of drawing a specific type of eye. I just want to learn how to draw eyes, period, if that makes any sense. So instead of me training myself how to draw a particular type of eye, I wanted to teach myself what makes an eye look the way it does. So I went on Google Images, as you would, and I looked up images of eyes, not drawings or sketches of eyes, just the human eye. And then I tried to really analyze what goes on in the shape of it, why it looks the way it does. And I realized, discovery of the century here, the eye is basically just an eyeball with like a flap of skin over it that like only shows like part of it, if that makes any sense. So in my sketches, as you can see on screen, at first I drew a circle, well, as perfect of a circle as I possibly can. Drawing spheres is not easy. Drawing a sphere is not easy at all. As you can tell, for the amount of times I'll be smashing the undo button, it's very difficult. But I'll draw a circle, and then on top of that circle I would draw what the flaps of the skin of the lid will be, because that's essentially what it is. It's like a lid on top of it that kind of opens and closes. The corners of the eye are they're sort of like hinges. If you think of it that way, they're sort of like hinges. And then the eyelashes are basically strands of hair that stick out on the very edges of the hinges, like from the inside curling outward. Yeah, they're like that. So I tried to hone in on that. I'm not gonna go super crazy on drawing detailed irises, because that's not I can spend however much time in the future I want learning how to do that. And actually, I think drawing the shading on the inside of the eye, I'll leave that for when I eventually tackle shading itself, because right now none of my drawings have any color to them, any shading. It's just strictly drawing itself, because I want to get that down first before I skip to colors, or color theory, or lighting, for example. Like, I want to leave that for the future. Right now, I'm just going to focus on strictly the eyes, and I'm trying to break it down to its most simplest forms to understand why an eye looks the way it does. So that way, in the future, once I become better at it, I can draw any eye from any angle without being gridlocked or hard locked into like a specific type of eye. If that makes any sense. Remember, all these videos are all there's no script. I'm just going off the top of my head. Matter of fact, right now, so far with all my videos, I do my commentary after I upload. Well, not after I upload, but after I create the video. So once I hit stop recording, I then grab my mic and start. Commentating. You know, thinking back over all the things that I've done, and then I'll upload it. But yeah, so that's this video. I'm going to draw spheres. To explain my thought process, I draw spheres, and then I try and draw a lid over those spheres with a slight opening, and then I'll draw the eye underneath. And of course, I tackle this at different angles. Obviously, when I'm drawing a face, I'm not actually gonna show the back of an eye, because that's impossible unless I'm drawing a skull or like cutting a person's face in half. I'm not gonna, I can't draw the back of an eye, so there's no point in me practicing how to do that. That's kind of pointless. Like right now, I'm breaking apart the different features of the face before I inevitably put them all together to create a face. The full face. I think I'll even tackle hair next. I probably shouldn't, I don't know, should I move on to the body, like drawing the body, the neck down, before I get too much into the habits of drawing just the head and the neck and by itself? I don't know, the body is kind of, I don't know how I'm going to break this down. I'm not planning anything. None of this is planned. This is all off the seat of my pants. But yeah, that's it for the commentary. I'm going to keep it short. I said I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it short. So yeah, this is Gray. This is episode 9898. I forgot the number already. I think this is episode 8 or 9. I don't know. The title of the video will tell you. I am out.